Hello. Now, I love Fridays because it means Saturday is following, but also it means that we have the Friday Rumble, and I get quite emotional. Here they are. David Menzies. I found him in the gutter, looking up at the stars, and here he is. How are you, David?
I'm contractually obliged not to mention anything about me being face down in the gutter.
Bit of an in-joke.
At least tell us if there's a videotape out there.
He's a radio commentator. Baron, be quiet. I'm introducing him. For goodness sake, shut up. People are now rejoicing. Well done, Michael. Well done. Radio broadcaster, writer, activist, man about town.
I'm waiting for that 16-ton win.
I'm being nice to you. And Maren Mead Ward, who is a Burlington City Councillor.
Burlington City Councillor.
That's pretty impressive, isn't it?
Yes.
How is Burlington these days? The crime issue, it's pretty bad there, isn't it?
No, we have very little crime.
Really?
We're actually the #1 city, mid-sized city in the country, partly because we have very low crime.
Yeah.
High
Do you have
incomes.
anybody who earns less than 180,000 a year?
We actually have a lot of people that have far less than that.
Poverty?
Yes, we do.
Big food bank use, I'm sure.
We do.
I know.
We do have.
Another latte here, please.
Oh, stop. We have lots of food banks.
Let's talk about your hero, Justin Trudeau. You worship your man, you revere him. Now, what
I don't recall saying that, but go ahead.
my monologue was about this. I've interviewed someone from the Jewish community. He has given an interview to a Farsi language media organization, Iranian, where he has said that we need to be more understanding of the Iranians, that their nuclear ambitions have to be appreciated, that Harper is only being pro-Israel to pander to Jewish votes. How do you feel about that?
The part where I agree with Justin is that we have to care about Iranian people. So he did say that part. I was very offended by the notion that people are that Harper's just pandering to voters, because that actually insults the voters more than it insults anybody else. Voters choose their elected representatives on a whole range of issues, and not just because they like their stance on a particular thing. And they know when they're.
Do you think it was anti-Semitic?
To say that?
Are Jewish people so stupid or so obsessed with Israel?
That's my point. That's my point, that there are probably a wide range of views within the Jewish community about Israel, about Palestine, as there are in the entire country. And so to say
Jewish people are going to probably be more pro-Israel than non-Jews generally. But there are many, many Jewish people, of course, who do not vote Conservative. Tom Mulcair, the leader of the NDP's wife, is a Jewish woman. There are Jewish liberal leaders. How dare you say such a thing?
And I believe that you can be pro-Israel and also have concerns about what's happening to the Palestinian people.
Exactly.
So I don't think there's a dichotomy. And so he's politicking as much as if we think that Harper is politicking, that Harper
David, he
is.
also criticised the Canadian government's support for Ukraine, and he said, implied, no, I think stated, that this was all an attempt to pick up Ukrainian votes. An outrageous thing to say.
Yeah, well, Shiny Pony isn't really a great intellectual titan, is he, Michael? I mean, when they began the interview with what do you think about Iran, and he said, it's my favorite Flock of Seagulls song after Photograph and Space Age Love Song. Well, you know,
I didn't even follow that. But
yes, well, it's
I totally missed that part of the interview.
Well, I guess you guys weren't listening to pop music in the 80s. I forgive you for being...
Which band was this?
I remember.
A Flock of Seagulls. I ran so far away.
I ran.
Oh, the penny drops for a thundering echo from Marianne Mead Ward. Okay, but seriously,
when you have to explain it, it's not that funny.
But I
go
think
ahead.
the idea there's almost this Neville Chamberlain, let's appease Hitler kind of mode operandus with what Justin Trudeau was saying, Michael. I think in the world today, the #1 threat to world peace, as much as there are problems in Russia and North Korea, it is Iran. And if Iran does get a launchable nuclear device, and that leads to the nuclearization of the Middle East, we are going to have a problem on our hands that will be the single biggest threat to world security.
I think what you said was terribly unfair to Neville Chamberlain, because he had been a very good mayor of Birmingham. He led the Conservative Party rather well, and he did try his best with... No, Trudeau is a man of no experience, pampered,
I think that's the challenge.
And he says things, particularly when he seems to assume that if he's speaking to a group of Iranians, or if he's speaking in French, the rest of the country will never know what he says.
He hasn't learned that whatever you say is going to be picked up and broadcast across the country. You have to be yourself. You have to be the same you at every audience, and he's not.
So what is the unspoken strategy? That's what you have to ask. And certainly in politics, it's all about getting vote and critical mass. And is it that he thinks that there are enough radicals that if he starts speaking this way, because, you know, the vast majority of Iranians I know in Canada, Michael, got out of that regime and despise it.
They oppose the government.
Absolutely.
Yeah, hopefully.
The irony of the situation is if anyone is pandering to various communal votes and communities, it is Justin Trudeau. He's going to various people, particularly the Muslim community, and here specifically the Iranian, and saying, please vote for me.
It's a bit of a divide and conquer kind of strategy, but it also reveals the lack of depth in his own,
So we have
his
to
own
break.
thinking.
I need to ask you then, because you've run for the Liberal Party, and you may well do in the future, and you are a Liberal, and I admire you for that. Are you content with your current leadership?
I have always said that I have concerns about Justin Trudeau, and I don't think he's ready. I've always said that.
Well said.
Good
well
for
said.
you.
I think we'll break at that point. That was rather good. Thank you very much.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, we were just chatting in the break there about my old show a few years ago, and both of these two, they were on it. And one day, Marilyn Shirley, who's a lovely woman, used to be an NDP minister provincially.
Justice of the Peace now, right?
Yeah, she is, yeah, she is.
Yeah.
And we'd arranged for her to have a cream pie under the desk, and she put it in David's face.
That's right.
And we had hundreds, possibly, not thousands, but several hundred letters and emails of complaint. And people didn't seem to did they really think she could have a cream pie hidden, that we didn't know it was going to happen, you know?
Let me get the cream pie
I wish.
I've got for this.
She should be charged with assault. Now, interesting issue here. Daniel Murphy. I must admit, I'd never heard of this guy. He plays for the Mets, right?
Correct. Second base.
I like him already, though.
Do you?
I do.
He's married.
Well, not that kind of
His
like.
first child. Was it his first child was born? No, a child was born.
It was
Yes,
a child.
He took leave to go and be with his
God
wife
bless
when the
him.
child was born. And a lot of people in the baseball world have been very angry. They said, you're paid millions and millions of dollars. You can save this money for that child, you know, to be taken care of. You should be satisfying the team and the franchise and the fans and not doing this.
Completely skewed. His baseball is a career. His occupation is fatherhood. He cannot farm out to a nanny, to a nurse, to a paid staff his obligation to be with
But
his
he will.
wife, to see. There are times when you have paid care. Don't tell me you've never used a babysitter, or you. We all have. But you don't.
Very
but
rarely,
you don't.
actually.
Well, you don't farm out fatherhood and motherhood. And there are certain moments that you need to be there for.
Right.
And the birth of your child is one of them. They're special. They don't come along all that often.
You
and
are
if you miss
David,
it, you don't
you're a
replace
wonderful
it.
father. You don't believe. Surely he did the right thing.
No, I am a wonderful father, I think, but my role came when I taught the kid how to take a slap shot and how to take a pass in lacrosse, not when it was.
put up their dues.
I know, Mariam Mead Ward once again believes in a gay multicultural society where I don't believe in physical
Yes.
sports, right?
Oh, you're speaking my language,
But
David.
what am I supposed to do in the hospital, in the delivery room? Remember the good old days?
be
Just
there
be there
for
with
your
her
wife.
and hold her hand,
It used
because
to be-
it's
Hold
my
on, I
husband
let
was
you
there
talk.
holding
Were
my
you
hand.
there for the birth of
It
your
was
two boys?
wonderful.
Well, and it was ridiculous.
You were there,
I was like
weren't
a
you?
fifth wheel, but
You were there.
Oh, because
What
you
about
need
the
to
old
be,
days
you
when
need to be
the father
useful.
paced back and forth in the lobby with a
cigar.
box of cigars? Yeah. And now we
It
have
was
to be.
not the right thing.
Your
empowered.
It's better now.
Your
Yeah.
usefulness is to be with your wife.
Yeah, and when Lady
And to
Menzoid.
hold her hand.
Yeah.
And to be
Go on,
with her
David.
while she's
Yeah,
going
And when Lady
through the
Menzoid is giving
challenges.
birth and she's screaming and crying and moaning, and that was during the point of conception, by the way. But seriously, folks, no, really, what am I going to do? I felt like I was in the way, Michael, right?
You're often in the way, David.
yeah,
We still
I'm
love
sure
you.
she felt that way,
Okay,
but-
Michael, let me put it to you that you're a big Tottenham Hotspur supporter. The championship game
big
in the
what?
Premier League, right? Soccer. And your number one striker, his wife is going to give birth on the day of the championship, and he says, "Oh, tally-ho, lads, wobbly jobbly, I'm off to the hospital." Are you going to put up with that?
That is just how most of the players who play for Tottenham now speak, especially the 3 or 4 who are English and who come from the slums of London. David, if ever Tottenham were about to win, if ever Tottenham were about to
team
win the
effort.
league, it would be. There's more of a chance of a virgin birth happening, by the way, than that. So it doesn't really matter.
What was Game 7 of the Stanley Cup final for the Leafs? And Bernier goes,
but it wasn't that. It was
I can't
the
play
opening
One at a time,
game.
guys. One at a time.
It was the opening game, and what I was thrilled to discover is that the major leagues even have paid paternity leave. I was
Isn't it
thrilled.
wonderful?
It is wonderful, and his
Right.
manager is standing behind us until we get
and on that
past
point,
this,
Michael,
this
very quick.
It's a
division
good
of
thing.
labor.
It's a good thing the NBA doesn't have paid maternity leave for illegitimate kids. Half the roster wouldn't be playing tomorrow. Anyways, I digress. Go ahead.
I wondered how long it would take to be deeply offensive, but rather funny.
I was offended about 5
Let's talk
ago,
about Rob
just
Ford,
me.
the OPP, the Ontario Provincial
Rob,
Police, have said there's nothing more to add to the case. They're throwing it back to Metro Toronto. It's a bit of a slap in the face for Toronto cops.
Absolutely. No, they just haven't found any new evidence, but they've looked through. There's still a lot that we don't know about this, and we still don't know.
Not according to the OPP.
No, the police. The evidence is that a call was made that is still. We don't know the contents of the call, a 40-second call between Lisi and Ford the day that the story broke.
Do you think...
What do you think is in that? They have to continue to investigate that.
Do you think... Let me put it this way. Please be honest. Do you think Toronto police are happy with what the OPP said?
I think there's a division of opinion on what's
really?
on the case, but I think
the Toronto
I think
police
it is
are really quite disappointed of the reaction of the OPP.
Well, they might be. What the OPP is saying, look, we looked at some stuff and we couldn't find anything more than what you guys found, so you guys continue your
David,
investigation.
is that what they're saying?
That is what they said.
Actually, it's far worse than that. They're saying that it looks like Rob Ford was the victim of a blackmailing attempt here.
I think both can be true.
Let him speak.
Yeah, and I got to say, Michael, the only journalist in Canada that got this file right was Joe Warmington, the scroller for the Toronto
your
Sun.
friend.
Oh well, yeah, but he has called this right. This investigation is over, and potentially millions of dollars of taxpayer funds.
We've got to break. David, I'm just going to text from your wife. No. The baby's on the way. Rush home now.
Who's the father?
Go. That's okay. We can.